Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff. Man, once again, I thank y'all for tuning in for another week on the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. Hey, man, look, I really want to say something to y'all, man. I'm really compelled. I know last week I asked the question if femininity was dead. And really, I was just kind of on the cuff of that because that was something, I just kind of put out my little opinion about blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. Trying to be respectful of everybody. That's what I did. But I'm really compelled to motivate you all this week. And I really want to ask the question of, are y'all prepared? Are you ready to really get what it is you want out of life? Because the thing is, what I'm learning on my journey is that it's not about the money, okay? It's not about the money. It's not about trying to gain popularity and notoriety. It's doing what you do to help people. And when you help people along the way, people will start to see the value in what it is that you talk and you speak. When people see the value, they'll start to listen. When people start to listen, retention is how they usually come back. So I wonder, are you truly ready for you to go out there and get what it is that you want? And this can mean anything out of life. Now, pertaining to my purpose, I just said it's not about the money. I have to, kind of let y'all know that means my purpose, my being, what I have going on inside of me. That has nothing to do with money, but that has to do everything with helping people. Are you on that same trajectory? Are you on that same pathway to get what you want? Now, yours might be money. Okay? Oh, man. Here we are with the yawning again, but it's all right, y'all. But for most people, it is money. You know what I mean? Some people, it is because they just want a better life. You know what I mean? For themselves. Some people want to be happy and or fulfilled. Inner peace. You know what I mean? Those things working together to really put you in position to set yourself up for a life of freedom. How many of y'all actually ready for that? How many of y'all are really, really ready for that? Because the thing is, when you're ready to sacrifice. You're ready when you're ready to put some things that you want on the back burner so that now you can finally succeed. And it's okay for you to be somewhat selfish in this process. I'm not saying totally neglect people out. Oh man, here we go again. The yawning, we don't edit nothing out, man. I don't know what's going on. But once again, it's about you being okay to exclude some things and sacrifice in your life. It's okay to separate yourself from people for a certain time period. It's okay to be the lone wolf and be by yourself so you can get you together. It's okay to do that. It's okay to finally separate. Separate from what you believe is toxic. Separate from what you believe is not good. Separate from low energy and low vibrations, as people say, and frequencies. Okay, this is the third time I did this. This is wild and crazy. They say when you yawn, it's because enough oxygen isn't getting into your brain. I believe because I'm talking and I'm saying so much, that's why I keep yawning, people. But we're going to keep going. So, the thing is, it's okay to sacrifice. It's okay to let some things go. It's okay to do that to people. It's okay to do that to bad habits that you have in your life. It's okay when you start moving to listen to the course of your loved ones. Preferably for my married people who listen to the podcast, that's what I mean. Today, I'm going to give a real life example. Today, I was feeling good, but then I sat up here, me and my wife got into an argument. We got into an argument. Why? Because we were talking about things that happen within us. You know what I mean? Our relationship. How sometimes me having to catch up on things and work on certain projects and everything like that, it gets in the way of our time. Now, there are other factors that I was trying to defend that go into that as well. But regardless of the point, we have to realize that when we go through these things and when things happen in our lives, who said that it was going to be easy for us? Who said that it was going to be easy for you? Nobody said it was going to be easy. So do you quit? I didn't quit. What I did was me and my wife, we went to the apple orchard today. All this happened when we went to the apple orchard. Got into an argument, everything. I wasn't going to go in. I didn't feel like it. My mood was shot and killed. My mood and was shot and killed to go ahead and have a great day. That's what it was. You know what I mean? So what I did was, I said, bump it, I'm not going to go in. I said, you go do the orchard thing. You make it happen. I know you're more capable of making it happen on your own, blah, 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 woo, woo. I was being petty. I wasn't ready for resolution at that time when I needed to be the bigger person and have the resolution. But guess what? Being an awesome leader has nothing to do with you barking orders or trying to be heard or get your point across. What it is, it's about listening and applying effective change. Listening and applying effective change. So in order for you or any man to lead the house, what happens is you must listen. And then you must try to meet the needs and the concerns of your spouse. It can be a hard thing to do. We don't get it right all the time, but we at least try. That's what I mean. Sacrifice some things that you want for the greater good of somebody else sometimes. It's okay to do that, especially when you are married. It's okay to do that, people. It's all right. But first of all, you have to take the time to look at you as well. Do you know that you're capable of something like that? Do you know that if you do it, do you know truly how you will be? Man, my brain needs oxygen right now. Do you know truly the person that you will be? You know? Do you know that if you are actually with a certain person, if you'll be able to fulfill the calling that's on your life, your purpose, your dreams, your hopes, any aspirations that you have that will make you feel fulfilled and happy? Is that something that you are ready to take on? Because it's hard, people. It's hard. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with it right now. It's hard for one to balance everything. What did I say? You're not going to get it right all the time, right? You're not going to get it right. It's not always going to work. So that's something you have to remember as a person. Be a human being and show yourself some grace. Because it's not always going to be perfect. I'm guilty of that. I don't do that all the time. Some things happen. You know how it is. A man's ego goes down a little bit. And that's only because things are going on in his life. That has nothing to do with your spouse. Nothing to do with your wife. But it happens sometimes. You know. So when it happens, who's there? Your wife is there to help you out. Your wife is there to pick up some pieces for you. I'm not saying change you as a man, change you as a person. No. But even though as men and women, times are going to get rough, you have to know that when those times get rough, that you are able to achieve. Whether it's your happiness, greatness, or whatever it is, or goals, or task-oriented things, you have to realize that you have the ability to achieve. And it's nothing wrong with you trying to recognize that. That's a good thing. You're supposed to recognize and embrace it. Know your strengths and weaknesses also. Know your strengths and weaknesses as an individual. Because a lot of times our weaknesses will make us stronger and our strengths will make us lazier. We automatically assume because we're good at something that we don't have to keep going. We don't have to keep practicing when it comes to that. When I go ahead and it's something I want to say, I want to speak, or when I go live off the cuff, or when I'm talking to people or whatever, a lot of times I'm at work and I practice that stuff. I'm at work and I'm talking to myself. People think, they're like, what is he saying? What is he doing while he riding on that tractor? I'm sitting up there and practicing what I want to say to the people because I have to be comfortable with giving my life lessons. I have to be comfortable with being transparent. I have to be comfortable with letting people in on certain things and aspects of my life that normally people wouldn't. Those most intimate details, that's what I have to let people know. So I got to be comfortable. Got to be comfortable to make it happen. So all the times when things go on in your life, your experiences prep you for the moments ahead. You know, when me and my wife had our argument, we had conflict resolution. Your experiences always prep you for the times ahead. See, I was once married before. So some of these roads I've been down before. So I know what to expect, but you got to remember every person is different as well. But my life experiences got me ready to deal with certain things like this, even within myself, people, even within myself. So a lot of times when you're dealing with your experiences, you have to look within. You have to know thyself. You have to know who you are and how you want to move with certain situations, how you would like to shift the tempo, how you would like to change the stride, the pace, the quickness, the tempo. That stuff you have to know how you will want it to be regulated. You have to pay attention to you. You have to pay attention to that gift that you have inside of you, those things that you want to do and accomplish. Why aren't you doing it yet? Like I told my people who I privately coach on our network or whatever people, I sat up here and I told them, I said, what is my excuse? I said, I see how my wife, she's able to do a lot of things on her own. She has a vision impairment. Some worse than others. I know her vision impairment is way worse than mine. But a lot of people have that. Some people have that disability. And the thing is, I was very candid. And I'm just like, what is your excuse for not wanting to achieve what it is you want to achieve? 90% of the time, we're making up excuses for ourselves. And then what do we have to do? We have to go back and convince ourselves that the decision we made is right. Shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way at all. You should already know. You need to know where you want to go. You need to know where you want to be taken. You need to know who the people are that you want to be seated at a certain table, a specific table. That never gets accomplished by sitting inside. Never. I wish somebody would tell me they have accomplished it. Never seen it before in my life. But be transparent. Be open. You don't have to let people into everything, but if you can, let them know your story. Talk to them, man. Develop a relationship with people. Social media is so big out there. I want to tell you something, man. I listen to Eric Thomas. Man, I'm just newly got into Eric Thomas, and I didn't know this brother was this phenomenal. You know what I mean? He's like the master at trying to make you think differently and give you a different perception and perspective on what it is that's going on in your daily life. He does such a great job of that. And I know that I have that skill and ability as well to do that with people, But it's amazing how when you just see the craft honed in so much and those little tidbits that he gives, talk about staying consistent, always making sure that you're on time, always making sure that you're repetitive in your works. The way he just stresses that, the way he says it, the way he puts it. Man, it's awesome. It's phenomenal, yo. So I'm just challenging you, man. Are you ready for those things that are going to come upon you in life? Are you ready to face those challenges? Are you truly ready to be the person that God truly called you to be? If you can face those initial fears or limiting beliefs that come through and work their way into your mind, you wouldn't mind seeing that stuff every day. You wouldn't mind a change or a shift, right? If you actually saw or knew that it was coming, you'd be okay. But for those things that immediately just switch, those things that happen that you don't have a lot of time to even fix, those life moments that you can't control, got to be ready for that. Remember, like I said earlier, your life experiences prep you for the things to come. So 9 times out of 10, there are things, I want to tell you this to y'all too. There's a lot of stuff that we have been through as people Okay? There's a lot of things that we have been through as people. But are you able to learn from it and tie it into your present day? Are you able to actually learn from it and tie it into your present day? Like, for instance, I sat up here, I was telling my wife today we went to go visit my grandmother's cemetery. When we went to go visit my grandmother's cemetery on this great day, on this beautiful day that it happened to be on, what happened was we got to talking about everything. Just got to talk about everything. Wife had to go to the bathroom, lost track of time, you know. So what I did was we had to go to the orchard. I drove all the way from Maryville to Portage. Some of y'all don't know what that is, but I'm saying Maryville, Indiana to Portage, Indiana, which is cool. But we couldn't get on the highway. They shut down everything. So we had to take the long way to get there. You have to be ready and to be adaptable to certain things, especially when it comes to people. A lot of times, I know that people can say things sideways to you. And then you have to go back and say, whoa. Like today, our waitress, when we went out to breakfast. Me and my wife went out to breakfast. What happens is my wife made a statement and said, well, it's just going to be a simple, easy order. And the thing is, once she got done with the order, the lady was like, oh, it was simple, remember? Pretty much saying a smart remark behind what she's saying. She wasn't trying to be funny or anything. What she did was she paid attention to what my wife said about something being easy. And necessarily, it probably could have been to an extent to where it probably wouldn't be that easy because of how she works it. You know what I mean? How she works it as a server. How she works it as somebody that presents, food to you that's bought back from the cook. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own individual styles. You know what I mean? And how they serve you. It's never going to be the same wherever you go. The principles still remain the same. But in terms of how somebody is serving you, a lot of that game doesn't change. It'd be the same. Same all the time. So, I'm telling you. I don't even know where that notion came from. I ain't even going to lie, y'all. I'm a little tired. But once again, see, we keep it real on the show. We keep it real on the podcast. My thing is, I'm trying to say things that help y'all. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't have anything planned. I didn't go off the cuff. I just really want to motivate y'all. Because the thing is, I understand that we are all going through some tough times. I understand that we are all going through some tough times. And when we go through these tough times, we need things to lean on. And it's a lot of times I don't mind doing this for free. I don't mind doing this out there. I do charge as a life coach for certain things, but there's a lot of stuff that I take for free. You know what I mean? People I talk to for free. It just happens. It's something that I don't look for. I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for the money, man. I'm not looking for the bread. I'm not looking for that. That's going to come later on, and I'm okay with that. But what we got to do now is we have to focus on the right now. What are people dealing with right now? A lot of people are dealing with self-doubt. A lot of people are dealing with anger. A lot of people are dealing with hurt, pain, not being joyful. Some people have a lot of disgust for other people in their hearts. So what if I can get you to just think about it just a little differently? I life coach a group of girls on Saturday. This is what happened, y'all. We sat up here. We went to this dance studio. It was awesome. It was amazing. The same type of relationship that me and my business partner was trying to harbor with these girls. Shout out to Zed and Nicole girls. Like I told y'all before, I life coach a girls group every Saturday. We set up here. We got there. Like I said, the session was amazing. And I'm just like, man, they're so open about and with their emotions and so in tune with everything. It was just something, yo. So what happened was they did an exercise. And you got to be ready to shift, okay? You got to be ready to shift. You should be able to think differently as a person, But what I'm realizing is at the age of 14 through even 19, 20 with these young girls, they watched a video. And with this video, what happened was, it was a girl who was going through some cyberbullying. Long story short, these other girls assumed that this one guy, that she was talking to this one guy or whatever like that because the friend had ended up liking him and everything like that. It was just a whole circus. It made no sense at all. So I got into this circle and I told these girls, I said, one thing that y'all did, y'all kept assuming everything that happened in the video. Y'all actually never took the time to ask, well, what if this, what if that? Did she really do this? Nobody said, well, if she did that, I don't know how it would have went. Nobody said that at all. Instead, what everybody did was they actually judged the people on the video. The people on the video, they judged them based off of their own moralistic values, how they feel about certain things. And it was very interesting because what these girls did was, I told them, I said, all y'all are doing is just assuming right now. Each and every last one of y'all are just assuming something. I said, none of y'all thought to ask the girl if she was in the wrong, if she ended up liking the boy. You know? And to put it in a little more context, that boy, when he walked past the group of girls, he ended up saying hello to the friend. And then once he said hello to the friend and not the main girl who was interested in him, she got a little jealous. So then what happened was, I guess what she did was she posted a picture on social media of those two actually talking to make it seem like they were actually together. So then what happened was nobody ended up with the boy at the end. And then what happened was after nobody ended up with him, it was over with. It was over with. You know, the girls ended up shutting out the friend. It was over with. Oh, and then the kicker was cyberbullying. She ended up cutting herself. Young girl ended up cutting herself at the end. Nobody went with the boy, but she ended up cutting herself at the end. So I told these girls, I said, all y'all assumed. So y'all would rather assume that a certain situation is going on because these girls had to put themselves in the actor's shoes, you know what I mean? So I said, y'all are willing to assume that she was doing something with somebody, but nobody asked the question, which leads to my next point. People ask questions to get as much information as you can. There's no telling how much out here you can actually learn, okay? No telling how much of this stuff you can actually learn. Sometimes we got to take a step back and we got to chill out and we got to say, all right, cool. Let's see what we got, blah, 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 woo, 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 good or bad, assess it. And we either go move left or right, depending on what's said. Depending on what's said or what's done. That's how we all should make these goals and dreams happen, people. So, all right, y'all. I didn't want to be before y'all long today. Like I said, I wanted to give y'all a little bit of motivation. I want to give y'all some keys and some pointers and just a little bit of things in my brain to go ahead as a certified life coach to make y'all think a little bit differently. You know, you always don't have to think the same way I do. I'm not saying that I'm right about everything, but if I can get you to look at something with a different perspective, that's my goal. So please, y'all, like and share this podcast. You know, if you're on Apple Podcasts, like and share this bad boy. Leave a review. Please leave a review. Let me know how I'm doing, you know. I know I talked about a hardcore subject next week, but like I said, this week I want to give y'all just a little something. Give y'all a little bit of motivation. So, all right, y'all. Remember, Life Coach Jeff coming to you. Redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning in to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.